Hello, everyone. This is your host, Rebecca Beavers, and welcome to the final episode of the Bridging the Gap podcast. After 6 episodes of student stories, administrative insight, political analysis, and institutional history, one question remains. Where do DEI efforts go from here? To answer that, we turn to the research, the academic studies, policy briefs, and data analyses that look beyond the current moment and toward the future of equity in higher education. Let's start with what the research tells us about impact. Across dozens of peer-reviewed studies, one finding appears again and again. Students who participate in identity-based support programs, whether through mentoring, community centers, or specialized scholarships, experience stronger feelings of belonging, higher retention rates, and better academic outcomes. Belonging, in particular, is a powerful predictor of persistence. When students feel connected to their institution, they are more likely to graduate, engage in leadership, and pursue postgraduate opportunities. DEI programs, historically, were built to create those connections for students who often arrived at college without them. But the future of this work depends on how institutions respond to the pressures of the present. Recent academic forecasts suggest several possible pathways for DEI going forward. One possibility is structural integration, folding diversity work into broader student success offices. In this model, the language changes, but the core support remains. Another pathway is specialized programming, where colleges maintain targeted supports, but reframe them around legally defensible categories like socioeconomic status, first-generation status, or major-based cohorts. A third pathway is institutional retreat, scaling back programming entirely due to legal uncertainty or political risk. The research indicates that the first 2 models preserve measurable benefits for marginalized students. The third does not. But DEI is not just a campus issue. It's also an economic one. Analyses of national labor trends show that students who graduate from institutions with strong equity infrastructures have better long-term outcomes, especially students of color, LGBTQ+ students, and first-generation students. When those programs disappear, the graduation gap widens, and the benefits of higher education become more unevenly distributed. And as workforce DEI initiatives shrink in the corporate sector, college-based support becomes even more critical for preparing diverse leadership pipelines. So where does that leave us? The scholarship suggests that the future of DEI will be shaped by 2 competing forces: external pressure, legal challenges, political scrutiny, and shifting federal priorities, or internal commitment, the extent to which colleges view diversity as part of their mission rather than an optional program. Where these forces meet will determine the next decade of opportunity for marginalized students. Researchers warn that without sustained support, the gains of the last 60 years in access, retention, and representation could begin to reverse. But they also note that DEI has never been static. It has evolved through political cycles, social movements, and changing student needs. And it will evolve again. So the future may not look like the DEI of the early 2020s. But it may not disappear either. Instead, it may take new forms, quieter, more integrated, more data-driven, and more resilient. Because as long as inequity exists, the need for equity-based support will too. And ultimately, that's what this series has been about. The students who rely on these programs, the administrators who build them, the policies that shape them, and the future they collectively create. This is not the end of the conversation. It's the beginning of the next chapter. This is Rebecca Beavers, and together we are bridging the gap.